This is One-on-One. Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. It is my pleasure to introduce Elaine Katz, who is Senior Vice President, Program Center at Kessler Foundation. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
We are partners, and you are helping us through a grant in which we are featuring organizations that are helping to employ and work with those who are disabled. And it's important for us to put in context the Kessler Foundation. People hear of Kessler, it's a huge brand, people know who you are on one level, but they may not know the foundation. Talk about that.
Well, the Foundation is a large national organization which focuses both on rehabilitation research and employment for individuals with disabilities. So our research is really something that's helping improve daily life for people with spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, multiple sclerosis, and our employment initiatives try to get large numbers of people with disabilities employed.
So hold on, is there two tracks?
There's two tracks.
Give us some examples, Lane, if you could, on the research side.
Well, the research side, we're dealing with robotics, we're dealing with memory, helping people learn how to do their daily tasks better after some sort of disability. And on our employment side, we're working with companies like Pepsi American Beverage, we're working with local and national organizations to really get those numbers increased of people with disabilities in the workforce.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Why is it so difficult to get those with disabilities hired?
No, that's a real challenge, and I think there's two reasons. First of all, there's the myth of, can people with disabilities really do the job? Do they have the skill? Do they have the talent? And then the second is, where are we going to find them? You know, so we might be a company that wants to hire disabilities, but we don't have anybody now, or we don't think we have anybody now. But really, there are lots of people currently employed that may have disabilities that aren't as obvious. So if I'm a company that wants to hire disabilities, where do I go? How do I get there? And that's what our projects do. We work with local communities as well as governments to help those companies really move that needle on employment.
Give us a concrete example. And we're actually, through this series, we're actually interviewing organizations, featuring organizations that are out there doing it. It's really blown us away because we would not have known of them otherwise if it were not for the foundation. Give us one concrete example where you say, we're really proud. I know that I'm putting you on the spot because there are so many others. And by the way, let's put up the website if we could, Jackie Cook, our senior producer, so people can find out about a lot of the other, there it is, the Kessler Foundation. Pick one foundation, one foundation grantee, if you will, where you say, hey, these folks are out there doing it. They're employing folks. They're making a difference. Go ahead.
Well, we have a great project that's on the second year with OfficeMax. And they have
OfficeMax?
OfficeMax. Now they're part of, they've just merged with Office Depot, but it's an OfficeMax project. And they've taken 4 of their key distribution centers in Dallas, in Ohio, in Las Vegas, in Chicago, and they set out a training center. So unlike some of the programs that we had before, and we've seen with Walgreens, it was just distribution center training for people with disabilities. This is doing both sides. So if I'm a young adult or someone interested in a job with OfficeMax, I can come into the training center and look at either the retail opportunities or the distribution center opportunities. So they're providing real jobs with real opportunities.
At OfficeMax, it's interesting. How do they find you?
Well, you know, Steve, when you give away money, everybody always finds you.
We found you. Is that true?
That's very true. You're everybody's best friend. That's what I like to say.
But it is more than the money because you're helping them help themselves.
Correct. And what we like to do, we're a very different foundation. We're a different funding model. I mean, we not only provide the information, but we collaborate with the people.
That's what I mean.
We'll troubleshoot projects. We're very accessible, and we really are, our goal is to develop the best practices. That's what's happening nationally. So, in fact, this year we hope to publish some more information on what's going on in the fields of employment for people with disabilities.
What do you mean, publish it where, for whom,
Well,
and
we
why?
want to take some of our good examples of the projects and the work we do and let others know, because sometimes we feel like we're the best kept secret in town. So, you know, when you work on different projects, you work in local communities like New Jersey, you work in different states, not everybody knows what's going on, and we really would like to get that message out, that there are great companies out there hiring people with disabilities, great organizations, and of course it's always the people, lots of dedicated professionals that really are moving that needle on employment.
You talk about working in the New York, New Jersey market, and this one-on-one is seen in the tri-state area, but you also work with multinational companies. The Pepsi, good example, the Pepsi initiative is huge. It's just starting. What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about Pepsi America's Beverage, which is really a division of PepsiCo. And they created a challenge for their employees called Achieving Change Together. And
ACT?
ACT, right. And that came to us through a local not-for-profit based in Connecticut called Ability Beyond. And Ability Beyond had some relationships with Pepsi, and Pepsi decided that over the next 4 to 5 years, they want to hire 2,000 people with disabilities.
2,000?
2,000 is the minimum. That's, corporations want to do things quickly in big ways, and they are going to be looking at 8 different sites nationally. And then have 10 satellites off those 8 sites. So it's a very large initiative starting in Minneapolis and then probably moving to Houston and launching from there.
We actually have, right after this program, we're taping an interview with one of the nonprofits. It's not a major corporation, but it's Hudson Community Enterprise.
Correct.
Why a nonprofit, and what would they be expected to do with respect to employing those with disabilities?
Well, Steve, it's really interesting. There's a new model that's happening nationally, and it's social enterprise. It's really been around for 20 years.
Say it again, social enterprise?
Social enterprise. But it's really been around for a long time, but only starting to take off with not-for-profits. And what that means is a not-for-profit is starting a business entity that has a social mission. So it's doing good, but it also spins off some excess money, some excess revenue. And Hudson Community Enterprises was one of the first ones in this area that we funded. So we've invested close to $1 million in Hudson Community Enterprises to help them launch document. We started with a shredding business, they moved to document imaging, and now they do digital mail. So their incredible growth has spurred 125 people into jobs, and they're a $4 million organization, and their excess revenue just in this particular section is about $400 to $500 million, which is going back into their business and helping others retain their jobs and stay in the jobs. But I'm sure you'll learn more as you interview them.
Well, that's the whole idea behind the series, is to interview those who in fact are doing this, who are making a difference, and so hopefully no longer a best kept secret. But I want to thank you, Elaine, for coming in. Do you mind if I plug one more time? Let's put up the website. Again, our great team just did it right there. Elaine Katz, Senior Vice President, Program Center, Kessler Foundation. I want to thank you, not just for being here, but for allowing us in the world of public broadcasting to share the story of what you're doing, but more importantly, the work of these organizations that you're helping to employ those with disabilities, because there are so many misconceptions, because the folks we're talking about have so much to contribute to society, and we need to all make a difference. But thank you very much, Elaine.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, we will be right back with One on One right after this.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by activists in cooperation with the American Medicine Chest Challenge, Choose New Jersey, NJIT, Health Republic Insurance of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, Berkeley College, and by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One on One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.